5 different shades of green today, so don't let it distract you. Hey garden gals and guys, it's Steph with Tiny's Garden. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to cover my top 7 cut flowers from the 2022 season, and truthfully we're really going to be covering 13 because I couldn't exactly dwindle it down to just a top 7. But I have 7 main and then some honorable mentions. Let's dive right in. Number 1, Lizianthus. Oh. Lizianthus is a fastidious girl. She's notoriously difficult to grow. I know some people think she's just about as easy as the others, but for me at least, she's a bit trickier. She's picky, she can get a lot of algae growth on her. She takes 6 months to bloom from starting the seed to the actual first bloom. So she's a tough cookie. I get it, she is a tough cookie. However, because of that challenge and because of all the hoops you jump through to grow her, when those blooms come in the summer, sends you to the moon. My favorite one from this past year was Arena 3 Apricot. Arena 3 Lizianthus, again, gorgeous. Beautiful, palish, light apricot color. Barely beats out Voyage to White. Check out this Lizianthus. Have you ever seen something so perfect? Voyage has slightly more ruffly petals. They both are similar looking to a rose, but absolutely stunning. Stunning in a bouquet, stunning on their own, stunning in the cut flower garden. Usually nice long stems, easy to work with in the bouquet. Just love her. Totally worth the challenge. And I think that's why she's my number 1, because you do have to work so hard for her. And then she comes and you see all the fruits of your labor. Also makes my heart flutter. That is number 1. I recommend trying it. I know if you're on a production schedule and you're trying to make money, it might be worth your time just to order plugs. I get that. I am just a hobby farmer. I'm not an actual farmer, I'm a hobby grower. And so, at least not yet. So I have the time and the energy to put into it, and I like the challenge of it. Some flower farmers order plugs and it's just more efficient for them. I completely get that. Completely get that. But I still recommend, if you've never tried growing it, just to try a tray for the challenge and then the reward of them blooming in the summer, because I think it's worth it. Secondly is Iceland Poppies. Now I will say first off, they don't last long in a vase. They're not exactly the best vase flower because of their short vase life. However, when they are in that vase, so stunning. Even 5 to 6 of them, I love the texture of them. These are from June 3rd, and that coral color is my favorite. It's like a crepe material. The champagne bubbles mix is my favorite. The colors in there, there's coral, orange, white, little yellow, a soft coral, just a beautiful combination. And I love them in a vase together or in a long vase with single stems in each one. I don't have a picture of that one. I have a picture of the one in an actual vase with just 5 or 6 of them, and I love it. I also have put them with other flowers before, and they just add something. Even if they're not going to be in there long, I love them. Also, similarly to Lizianthus, a little more challenging to grow. A little more challenging to start from seed, but it can be done. I'll post a video I did last year about starting Iceland Poppies and the success I had with it. And that was my first year, and I was able to get some. So it can be done. A little more challenging maybe, but it can be done. So I will put that in the description below. But Iceland Poppies, there's just nothing like them, you know? And I like that uniqueness. They are number 2. I will also mention I get all of my Lizianthus from Johnny's Seed, and I get all of my Iceland Poppies from Floret, although Johnny's does have it as well. So you can go to either for them. I'm sure some other places do too. This is just where I purchased mine from. Number 3 is Benares Giant Salmon Rose Zinnia. Whew. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Benares Giant Salmon Rose, absolutely a stunner. It is my favorite, gorgeous salmon color, nice big size. Oh. If you haven't yet, go get you some Benares Giant Salmon Rose, like yesterday. Talk about a workhorse. Now, if you want to talk about great vase life, great production, pushing out those blooms like nobody's business, pow in your face, but not too in your face, that is a Benares Giant Salmon Rose. Beautiful palm-sized blooms, absolute stunners in a vase. Can work with a variety of colors, and the color itself I think is what gets me. It's a beautiful salmon color, not too strong, not too weak, just perfect, and it was my favorite zinnia this year, and out of all of the cut flowers, number 3 on my list, because it edged number 4 out by production and the way it's a workhorse. It just shoots out blooms non-stop. Those I get from Floret. I do believe Johnny's has those as well, although I didn't double check that. So do your homework, double check, but Floret carries them every year. Number 4 was my surprise flower in the garden, Mr. Folker Anemone. My goodness, I threw in these corms because I thought they were dead. They didn't really pre-sprout for me. And sure enough, in the summer, these gorgeous anemones came up, the most of which were Mr. Folker, this blue purple color, difficult to describe because in person it's so unique, but I did get some great pictures of this because I was just ecstatic. Out of nowhere come these blooms, and wow. I had quite a few for not expecting any. Not as many as the zinnia, which is why it's in number 4, but goodness gracious, I am going to grow more this year purposely and really get them in the ground and care for them and make sure that they come up because they are stunning in a vase, they are stunning in the garden. Oh, and just unique. Again, it's kind of like an Iceland Poppy texture-wise, little crepe-like, but it's totally different at the same time. A runner-up to that is the Bordeaux one, and I'll search and see if I can find any pictures of this. First of all, this Bordeaux anemone, which is actually suffering from the extreme heat, it was even more beautiful before, but can you with that red? Because I can't. I just didn't have as many of the Bordeaux as I did the Mr. Folker, so I'll try and ruffle through and see if I can find any pictures of it, but oh yeah. Number 5. Costa Apricot Snapdragon. This Snapdragon is so beautiful. The color captures me. It is a white on top with a yellow in the center, but a slight pinkish color on each side of the yellow. Just beautiful. I loved this Snapdragon throughout the whole year. Used it the whole year. Production was high. I also had another close second favorite Snapdragon, which was Apple Blossom, and it is the reverse. It has the pink in the middle and the white on the ends with a little bit of yellow on each side of the pink. Both of these are stunning in a vase, stunning in the garden. I think that's my tagline, stunning in a vase, stunning in the garden. And a close third to that is the Potomac Orange. Now, friends, I am not an orange girl. It's my least favorite color, but these were really pretty. I remember one bouquet specifically that I picked for a friend to give to his friend, and all of these Snapdragons, I think. I know the Apple Blossom and the Potomac Orange are in that bouquet. Here is the Apple Blossom with the white and light pink center, and then the Potomac Orange with the vibrant yellow orange. Really pretty. They all go great together, and it's not an in-your-face orange. It's like a pinkish blended orangish color. Grow it so you can see it for yourself. But number 1 Snapdragon, Costa Apricot. Loved it. Second, Apple Blossom. Third, Potomac Orange. Wow, I can't believe I was able to narrow down my top 3 Snapdragons. But there they are. You're welcome. Number 6, Belle of Mira Dahlia. Now my dahlias were a little delayed, I would say, this year. And from what it sounded like through everybody out there, everyone's was. But once this one bloomed, the Belle of Mira, which was one I was most looking forward to, did not disappoint. Nice big blooms. I got several, and the color is a beautiful pinkish, not salmon, but like a variety of salmon pink peachish. I would say a little more pink than peach, at least mine were. And stunners, dinner plate size, beautiful in a bouquet, really pretty in the garden as well. And I just highly recommend growing her if you haven't and you're a dahlia person, because I was very pleased, very pleased. Number 7 is Sahara Rudbeckia. Now, I have to admit, Rudbeckia was not necessarily one of my top flowers until this year, because I grew the cherry brandy Rudbeckia before. Didn't really do much for me. It was pretty when it bloomed, but I didn't have good production and my bunnies ate all of it. This year I did the Sahara Rudbeckia in raised beds as well. We'll snap some of those. Oh, Sahara mix. Just gorgeous. And my goodness, the Sahara blew me away. I like it much more than the cherry brandy. It has wonderful production. It's gorgeous in a vase. It pumps out a variety of different colors in its blooms. My personal favorite is the yellow with the red on it as well, the bicolor. Can you? Look at that. Just gorgeous coloring. But it was a workhorse for me and stunning in a vase. So it did not disappoint, really versatile and lasted a long time as well throughout the season for me. So Sahara Rudbeckia is number 7. Honorable mention time, one that I have to mention is the sweet black cherry Dianthus. You are so beautiful to me. Beautiful cut flower. I was not expecting that this year, but it is, and I have to tell you, this scent is right up there with sweet peas. It is different than sweet peas or even stock, but it's kind of similar to stock, kind of clove-like, but really deep and dreamy. Look at that depth in this flower. It's almost like a big lollipop shape. But the smell, I wish you could smell through the monitor, because oh my gosh, it takes you to another place. It takes you to another place. Beautiful texture to this flower. It's almost like a velvet flower. Loved that. Loved the deep red color, giving me all its might. Gorgeous. If you haven't tried growing it from seed, try growing it. It was easy to grow. It was easy to transplant. Grew well, had lots of production, and just a really unique, surprising cut flower. Sweet black cherry Dianthus. And then I had to put cherry caramel phlox, because this is a workhorse in the garden. Again, its scent is right there. Different than sweet peas in stock as well, also different than the Dianthus, but very flowery, very airy, and beautiful. Now this smell is even better than the Dianthus. Ah, this was a hard list to make. Great to put in bouquets. Essentially, you could put it in as a filler almost, because it's dainty enough, but just really highlighted every bouquet. Put it in, always made me happy when I was in the garden because I could smell it. It constantly was pushing out blooms. Had a really good year with that. I will plant that even more densely than I did this year because I've got space to. So that is my second honorable mention. So there we did it, my top 7 cut flowers for 2022 that I recommend trying if you have not, and also 13 total different varieties, because those were all worth mentioning and talking about. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and also if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel to follow along with all things garden, and comment below and let me know your favorite cut flowers that you grew this past year, because there's still time for me to get more for 2023. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy planting. See you in the next one. Bye. Are you pouting? I tried to put you up here, you didn't want to. Giving me the cold shoulder. Okay, that's fine.